Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Andrea and I am the Legally Blind Bookworm. For this week's reads, I am going to show you the first 3 owls that I have finished for the Magic Read-a-thon and the first 12 owl prompts. So as always, linked down below, you will find all of the links to the Magic Read-a-thon. You will also find the links to my full blog, and you will also find the link to my Facebook and my Instagram. So hey everybody, it is Tuesday morning. I'm actually doing this right after I finished my last book. So I just did my Astrology Owl, which was to find a book that had star in the name or star in the series. So I found the book #Starstruck, which I ended up searching on my Bard app for star and just kind of went through the list. So Starstruck is a romance novel that follows Zoe, who is just she's a college senior, just about getting her degree. She's right at the end of her schooling. And Chase, who is a movie star that she's had a crush on for probably most of her life and most of his career. And there's some romance in there, and they end up falling in love. It's not your typical romance because it's very modest romance. There's no romance scenes in this whatsoever, but there's a ton of romance in it, which was just awesome. Definitely had a lot of smiles. There's some humor in this. This isn't a typical romance that I read, and sometimes more modest romances do not keep my interest at all, but this was one that really did. I actually started it last night and then have gone into finishing it when I woke up this morning. So I am just finished this book, so I'm like super giddy over it. It was really good, and I really did enjoy a lot of the romances in this. It, although was like I said, a modest romance, the romance in it between the two of them, there was a lot of back and forth in regards to wants, but needs and all of that. It was very realistic. A lot of modest romances are not realistic, where the two partners just really don't want to have a lot of simple romances in it, but this one was really realistic, and it just made you warm and fuzzy inside. So I am looking forward to my next book, and I'm gonna look into more books by this author and see where it goes from there. So I will see you in a couple days. So hey everybody, it is Wednesday afternoon, evening-ish, and I decided to do my vlog outside because it is just a gorgeous day outside. The birds are chirping, the sun is out. So I'm a little surprised I'm actually doing this video so quickly. I just got finished with my Charms owl, which was to read a adult book. So I ended up reading Sweet Dreams, which is by Kristen Ashley. This is the second book in the Colorado Mountain series. I ended up reading the first book, which is called The Gamble. I ended up reading it about 3 years ago. And when I downloaded some other books by Kristen Ashley, because I just got finished with the Rock Chick series, I decided that it would be fun to do some more Kristen Ashley. So when I was downloading the books, I saw The Gamble, which sounded familiar, and ended up realizing that I had already read it. And I do remember that book, so I decided to just go into reading the next book, which was Sweet Dreams. So Sweet Dreams is a romance novel that is set in the Colorado mountains. It is set in a small little town. It is about Tate, who is a bar owner slash bounty hunter, former football player, and he ends up falling in love with Lauren. She has had a rough marriage from before, so she's kind of coming to find herself again, and ends up working in the bar that Tate partially owns. So these two people are actually a bit older than a lot of other books you see with romance novels. I'd say the average age is usually in their early to mid 30s, but Tate and Lauren are in their actually early to mid 40s, so that is a little different. Tate has a son, so there's a little bit of family there going on. So there's just a lot of romance in this. There's a little bit of suspense because there's a murder mystery kind of going on, that ends up going on throughout the entire book. And so there is that, and just the romance between the two of them. He is a bounty hunter, so he leaves off and on, which creates a lot of drama with some of the other characters. These characters are all like small town motorcycle town people, because the town is kind of based like around motorcycles and things like that. And Tate is definitely a bad boy, and he drives a motorcycle along with a lot of other people. And so just basically follows them. This book was really good. When I first downloaded this book, it was like 25 hours on normal speed, which is a lot longer than a lot of other books I normally read. Most of the books I read, I would say, were probably between 11 and 15 hours, although Kristen Ashley's books have been, around the 15 to 18 hour mark. I do read these at double the speed, but sometimes a longer book still feels really long. But this one, surprisingly, it went really fast. I was just glued into this book like you wouldn't believe. And before I knew it, I was like halfway through, and I was like, whoa. And then today I got into it. And before I knew it, I was like 85% through, and I had only like 3 hours on normal speed left, which was just huge. So this one definitely had me fully glued into this book, and just everything. I had a really hard time getting into a couple of Kristen Ashley's books from the past in the Rock Chick series, but this one, although it was her writing styles, and had the action like the Rock Chick series and the romance like the Rock Chick series and some drama going on, it just went way faster. And I'm not sure if it was just because it was a new series or what exactly it was, but this is a great book. Like I said, it is the second book in the Colorado Mountain series, so I do have a couple more books in my Owls that I will be doing with the Colorado Mountain series, so you'll see more books in regards to that. So like I said, this was my Charmed Owl, and or Charms Owl, and so that's book number 2 down for this week. I'm hoping to get some other books going. I have some smaller books that I might just pick up and get through, so I can have a lot of time for these longer books. I believe all of the Colorado Mountain books are in the 20-hour range, so I need to get them started and have a lot of time to read them. I do have some other books that I have to get done for April in particular. I have to do Razor Girl, which is the book for the monthly motif challenge. I have to get that done, so that will definitely be one of the next couple books. But this was just a great book, and like I said, I just finished it, so I did really enjoy this. I don't feel as giddy as I did with hashtag Starstruck, but I definitely really did enjoy this, and I definitely am excited to go on to the next of the series. So we'll see you in a couple days. So hey everybody, it is Thursday morning. I am expecting this to be the last video in my vlog that I will post on Friday morning or Friday during the day. So I just finished my Care of Magical Creatures Owl, which was to find a book that had a land animal on it. So for this, I did choose Chicken Soup for the Pet Lover's Soul. So if you're not familiar with the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, I've described them a couple times in some other videos, but basically they are a grouping of stories or poems or things like that that are supposed to be kind of inspirational or touching, things like that. Some of them can be a little bit sad, but they're mostly to try to just uplift you in the subject that the book is. So this was for the pet lover's soul. So all of these stories were all about different pets. I've done, I think, some on like the dog lover's soul or something along those lines. And so this one was just all about pets. It actually was about all kinds of different pets, some that were a little bit unconventional, like squirrels or rats or boa constrictors that kind of changed somebody's life. A lot of them were about dogs or cats. Some of these actually included some famous people. There was a story that was written by Betty White, and then there was a story that was that was written by Gene Wilder's wife. So these were just really cool stories, and I do enjoy reading some of these stories. It's, of course, a shorter read than some of my other books that I have going this month, so I kind of wanted to just take a break from some of the romances and the longer stories to do just kind of a shorter story that just kind of uplifted me and made me feel happy. So I do own a dog. I have a guide dog, and I do own a guinea pig, which is my daughter's. So pets have always been part of my life, so it was just a great story. So I'm going into reading Lady Luck, which is a longer book in the Colorado Mountain series by Kristen Ashley. So that one will probably end up going on to next week, but I'm looking forward to a kind of a little bit longer of a book and just getting through my owls. So I will see you next week. So because she walked in while I was doing my last video, I thought I would just kind of do a little tidbit. So this is my black lab, guide dog Bolly. She is a purebred black lab. She is all black except she has a white chest marking that comes from her dad's side of the family. So she is almost 4 years old. We've been together for almost 2 years. And she is a trained guide dog, was trained at Guide Dogs for the Blind. That their main campus is in San Rafael, California, but we trained in Boring, Oregon. So just thought I'd do a little tidbit about her. So as always, all of the books that have been talked about in the last vlog post will be linked down below with the title, the author, the NLS catalog number, and the Goodread links. You will also find the link to my current reads, which will be all of the books that I have finished so far in 2019. And as always, keep on reading. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make sure you ring that bell for notifications.